Hey, no, you haven't mistakenly tuned into a video about Pink Floyd, but rather this is this week's exciting reading adventures, and I'm only playing this to show you something on your screen here. It has something to do with what we're going to talk about. So here I got pauses before I get in trouble for violating copyright bullshit. Check this out. This is something I just found out this morning. And I was wondering why when I posted this on Facebook on Monday night, my friend Matt Goodluck, who is a tribute singer for Pink Floyd tribute band out in Australia, makes great money at it. Um, he liked the post for some reason. I said, "What? I never figured him for be a Doctor Strange fan." But nonetheless, we're talking about, and I pardon the mess here. I'm working through my D list of comics that are maybe like I can probably sell for boxes for cheap, But I'm looking for gems to put on a hip comic. But we're not going to be talking about all these. We're going to be talking about rather instead um, Strange Tales. Strange Tales. Strange Tales indeed. So during one San Fernando Valley Comic Con, uh, Brad Sloan's buddy, who's a comic book dealer who owns a comic book shop out in Huntington Beach called McFly Comics, he said, I just got a fresh stack of these just a day or two ago, and I figured I'd bring them over here to see how they do. And I rifled through them, and I picked up four what I thought would be the best ones, and maybe just do a video about them. So Strange Tales and Foolish Me, I have a double of this one. I didn't totally realize until after I came home with it that I have a double of it. And the Strange Tales is one of the two anthology books, three anthology books that Marvel did in the 60s. My favorites being Tales of Astonish with Submarine the Hulk, and the other one being Tales of Suspense with Captain America and Iron Man. And the third one, well, I always thought this was an odd pairing. Doctor Strange and Nick Fury, Agents of Shield. So I'm not a go getter when it comes to the back issues, but this was too good to pass up because some of them are nice looking they were affordable. Um, Before Nick Fury was in it was, I think it was Doctor Strange and Human Torch stories. I have to look up, but these ones, this particular book has a special meaning because artwork was used from this book for Pink Floyd, A Saucerful of Secrets. That album I looked, and I'll show you what it is in a second here. But let's go over this Nick Fury story first. Of course, this Jim Steranko was the one. This was his baby that just swept him into the comic book biz, as holding a whole bunch of different other jobs in life, like most notably a magician, an actor, and artist. So. I don't know the story. I should have researched it, but I don't know the story how it all came to be. But but Jim Stringle has done some of the greatest Captain America stories too of all time. And in this story, this is like the only two stories you remember are Strange Tales are these two long running soap opera-ish like action pieces, mostly with Baron Strucker and the Yellow Claw. So, in synopsis for Final Encounter, the battle between Fury and Strucker continues with the Satin Claw electrifying the floor until Fury manages to get off Strucker's hand, but surrounded by Hydra thugs, Fury dives into a pit of water and not emerging for 5 minutes is presumed dead. Big mistake, as Fury had used an oxygen pellet to wait out the thugs. Then raced ahead of Strucker. Minutes later, as the Hydra thugs enter the room, they discover two Struckers. One of them is revealed to be wearing a mask, panics, and winds up incinerated in a alpha particle reactor cube. The other orders Laura. Hold on. The other orders Laura put aboard the dinosaur and takes off from Hydra's island. And despite the imminent detonation of the Death Spore bomb, surprise, it's Fury who uses Strucker's face-changing gizmo to disguise himself and Strucker to fool the guards. He also reveals that when he left the helicarrier, he brought the bomb with him, even though at the time he didn't know what it was. It detonates, and thanks for the impenetrable dome, only Hydra Island and all within are wiped off the face of the earth. So there we go. Yeah, this is the tail end of the Strucker. How long did it take for these stories to run this course? A year or two, and being that they're only half. It's a half of the double feature book. The color still holds up nice on this one. And this was the most expensive one. This was a $25 book. That Carl doesn't give me the Carl does give me discounts, but I don't know what he says. Oh well, I'll just give you that for this book and that. Not like Brad. He has some kind of a system where he gives me how much I buy, plus less 20-30%, and he'll round it off for me. This is before this is just as Steranko is entering his experimental stage. As we'll show you in other books, where he goes. I mean, like right here is like something here. Really, really heady design. I think Steranko was. He had to do some supplements to get this stuff done. But let me tell you about this story, this Doctor Strange story. Now I want to know which member of Pink Floyd was a Doctor Strange fan, but this dude, the Living Tribunal, has appeared in Judgment of the Earth and judges it should be destroyed. It explains to Doctor Strange that when he freed Zom and destroying the creatures, Forlock, he had unleashed a terrible power on the Earth. These events have awakened those with latent mystical abilities to become evil and manifest magical abilities, thereby upsetting the cosmic balance and threatening to destroy the universe. Now, that's really a tall order of the universe. Doctor Strange, after fighting a futile battle against the Tribunal, managed to convince it to give it some time to try and stop these newly awakened mystics. The Tribunal agrees, bringing forth the Glass of Doom to count down the time that Doctor Strange has to solve the problem. The Tribunal then disappears to await the final fate of the Earth, and Doctor Strange flies off to correct the terrible mistake he has made. And the Tribunal is quite the character, man. I guess you credit to Marie Sorensen who created it. And this was inked by Herb Trimpe. Where's it Shrimp? It's Herb Trimpe. Sorry. Artie Simic, and came up with really. Now here's. Oh, so this was the Zom creature that he freed. was a man and becomes a creature. And we go to the this is the money shot page. Now let me see that. See this? See how Doctor Strange is right here, and the coins here. The only thing I can't show you, I can't get it, the picture won't shrink enough. Is there is the Tribunal's head on the cover, on the left corner. Ah, jeez. Um, um, and you see right there, there's Doctor Strange's body, and that's taken from that big, large splash page. There's the coins, the world's right there, and yeah, that's something that's a trippy. That's a trip. I never knew that before. So there we have it there. Okay, and along, and Marie Severson. She was a worthy successor to Steve Ditko. I thought I kind of like her stories better than Ditko's. I'll be honest. And here we go, fly it off. There's something else here. Oh yeah, this there's a letter from Bill Mantlo in here. He became a very prolific writer himself for Marvel. Creating Rocket Raccoon, among others. Monday's read, going to Tuesday's read. This one is called. I'm lucky the synopsis are very short, so we're able to get through these fast. Going to back to Nick Fury. I'm going to take the even ones with the Doctor Strange on the cover of these. So because the odd ones were with Nick Fury on the cover were really kind of dodgy looking. So confronted by hold on, I'm reading the wrong one. Synopsis for Project Blackout Part 1. Nick Fury contacts Captain America to investigate a mysterious invading force covertly staging at the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, that's right. Captain America guest stars. So yeah, of course, Steranko will be the successor to take over from Kirby on Captain America. Not for very long. I mean, it's a very short run he did on there, but mainly I think he's concentrating more on the Shield title rather than the. Actually, when Shield folded, I think he jumped to Captain America. Was he doing both titles simultaneously? I don't know, but this is a prelude to what he was capable of doing for Captain America, and it's very well. I mean, Steranko was a great writer too. I mean, he came up with these fantastic plots, even were out of left field of any James Bond movie. And there's a great scene of Nick Fury being tossed over the Statue of Liberty's torch for a cliffhanger that I don't know how it will end. Now here's the Doctor Strange story in this issue. Is if this is the planet you would save. It's basically what the Living Tribunal sets in motion for Doctor Strange to round up all these sorcerers to help him fight against this Rom character. So, confronted by his arch nemesis, Baron Mordo, leader of the Circle Sinister, Doctor Strange tries to appeal for Mordo's aid in saving the Earth, Mortal refuses to believe Strange at first, setting his minions upon Strange and fighting him one-on-one. However, Strange is able to fight off all of the attackers, convince Mortal to help collect all the evil mystical essence via a rite of exorcism. In order to collect all their fragments together, they must be contained in the human host, a role which Mortal agrees to take. After the exorcism, really slipped on that one. After the exorcism is complete and all the evil power unleashed by Zom is collected into Mortal's body, Mortal turns on Strange, striking him down. I don't know who this is. Raymond Marias? Oh, jeez. Yeah, wow. I didn't do any research on him. But it's Marie Severson and then and Herb Trimp. And yeah, I believe out of all the three anthology books, the Strange Tale had a hard time keeping a team together. This was a story I never read before. I thought I read all these Doctor Strange Tales things, but this is one I never seen before. And this, and again, like Shield, it's a long running stories, man. I know that when they start and when they end, So here, anything interesting here? I don't read the. I haven't had time to read the letters. Oh, I gotta be careful of that one. See how that's pretty dodgy. The dodgiest of them all, this issue. This is a severely word damaged book. Okay, was a Wednesday's read, and cover's nice. Who was that? Who would have done that? Does this say we did the cover on this? Huh. Dan Atkins? Dan Atkins did the cover for this? One of the things, I don't know if it's this one, or is it the last one? So here's it opens up with Captain America and Nick Fury checking out their Q, their version of Q. I think it was called whose name was Agent. I'll come across it. So synopsis: so evil the night. Oh, the Gaff. Yeah, there he is. Right, it starts right off. The Gaff. His name is Gaff. The Gaff presents Fury with his new car, a Ferrari 330 slash P4 Berlinetta. Is that for real? It was just made entirely out of clear fiberglass, making it completely invisible for 100 feet away. It's also equipped with a color-changing retrostat and vortex beams to replace the old mock pressure fan jets. Fury and Val go to S.H.I.E.L.D. and rebuilt ESP division. There, Jimmy Woo detects that the Yellow Claw is in Chinatown. Nick tells Jimmy that is his job now and goes there alone. After a harrowing encounter with a pair of Claw goons, Fury impersonates one of them in a darkened shop, meets Fang Shu, the Claw, face to face. But Voltzman gets the drop on him, and in an instant later, he falls through a trapdoor into the tentacles of a monster clalopod. I'm not really good on makes of cars unless it's a Nazi / quote unquote Tesla. I don't, as you know, I don't drive a car. I don't like cars, especially in California. I do not like them. People drive like maniacs. I mean, geez, did you see this crazy chase that went on from where do they say it started from? Somewhere in downtown LA. Wound up in the guy stole a truck. This guy stole some kind of truck, and he was using like a tank, mowing down people, left and right. Man, he must have crashed like 10 cars, violently. I mean, just like the guy was like a tank, just going through cars, and he must have been on something, man, because he would not yield or anything. And finally, he got into an intersection over a Telegraph Road in Long Beach somewhere, and smashed between two cars. He went flying into almost nearly went through a Sherman-Williams paint store. But the guy just got out of the car and started walking. Like not a care in the world, like it was all in a day's work. And he walked around a corner, and the cops ran after him. And it took 9 guys to take this behemoth down, man. Holy cow! I never seen anything like it. Anyway, back to our story. Yeah, Captain America here. Nick rubs Val the wrong way, and we have here's where Jack Kirby rubbed off on Jim Steranko. Yeah, there's some classic stuff. I don't know. This is the first 60s appearance of Jimmy Woo. You know, Jimmy Woo goes back to fighting the Yellow Claw since like the 1950s. Yeah, there's some great action here. Oh, yeah, look at that. Steranko, man, just knows how to stage a fight on top of a speeding car, nonetheless. Here's the big giant octopus, and there's the Red Claw. I don't know if this is the first appearance in this. Oh, look at that classic Saturday morning. Fantastic Four and Amazing Spider-Man. I remember, I think I was in Nebraska visiting my grandmother when these debuted. I remember watching it, the first ones, at my grandma's house in Nebraska. And okay, so Doctor Strange gets really bent out of shape. Strange. And this is from the Neverworld comes Nebulous. And I'm just seeing if I can try and make sense of it, because I couldn't make sense of it, and I originally read it. So Nebulous gives Doctor Strange his staff of polar power in order to initiate the creature's own powers. Taking the staff, Strange is polarized with Nebulous' planet Perilous and transported to Earth. There he battles Baron Mordo, the staff absorbing Mordo's excess mystical powers and banishing to another realm. Traveling back to Stonehenge, Doctor Strange attempts to destroy the Glass of Doom to prevent Earth's destruction. However, before he can, Nebulous transports Doctor Strange and the glass back to his planet. There, Nebulous reveals that Victoria is his captive, and he takes back the staff. However, before he can reveal his plot, Doctor Strange spots the living tribunal is about to arrive on the planet. This is one thing, I sometimes, when I read the dialogue out loud, it's hard to read Doctor Strange's dialogue out loud. All these crazy spells and pronunciations and stuff like that. Not even the movie with Cumberbatch could, I think he found the dialogue pretty clunky, because he had to tone it down a bit. These words and stuff, and there's the fight with Baron Mordo, with him having getting banished across to some barren universe or mystical plane where he's just flying free. And this were a good splash page here. And there's that. And this book is really water damaged. It's hard to turn the pages here. And it's a really weird design character. Oh, I wanted to talk about the writer of these tales. Okay, so Jim Lawrence here. Okay, so I guess he took over. I guess he was because he wrote the last few of these, and he wasn't much of a comic book writer per se, but I think he was the guy who was heading the the Marvel British line of comics. Handling the reprints and all that. Where the when England was getting heavily into printing some of these Marvel comics. And by the way, well, I found out this morning. National Comics was also the distributor and publisher of DC Comics, and Marvel's under contract with them, and they were only limited to a certain number of titles to do. So when their contract had ended, that's how they brought about the end of these duo books, in order to showcase. There would be too many books to publish if Marvel displayed all the characters they wanted. So they had to split these books, like Tales to Astonish, Tales of Suspense, and Strange Tales, so they can utilize more of their spotlight or so. So when the contract ended with National, then Marvel is free to give Iron Man and Captain America, Doctor Strange, and Nick Fury, and Hulk, and some manner of their own titles. So I wanted to get that out of the way. So the next, who's the next? Gee whiz. Where am I? My 160s. I need 166, and I'm not getting 166 here. I'm just gonna have to go forward on this one. So this is a fine one. Look, this is my favorite one of them all. That cover and the color on the cover on here is just, I just love how it just radiates. 65 and 166. Here we are. So nothing can halt Voltorg. And Jim Lawrence again wrote this one. George Tuska drew this issue, and was inked by Dan Atkins. I don't understand how they got that. Voice creations by R.D. Simek. Maybe he was dictating the story to Jim Lawrence and was using strange, funny voices. So synopsis for Nothing Can Halt Voltorg. Battling Vandroff's creation, Voltorg, Strange slowly begins to learn the machine's flaws. Meanwhile, Yondroth grabs Victoria and attempts to make an escape from his base, which is getting trashed in Strange's battle against Voltorg. Realizing Voltorg will strike at whatever it thinks its target is, Doctor Strange uses a series of illusions and his levitating ability to trick the machine into smashing its own face with electric prods. Strange uses this as an opportunity to destroy the creature. However, Doctor Strange is unable to stop Vandroff from escaping with Victoria through teleportation tubes. Following them, Strange finds himself transported to Stonehenge on Earth. There he's confronted by the spirit of the Ancient One. Now, this story kind of reminded me of the classic Superman cartoon, The Mechanical Monsters, a bit. Evil scientist captures a girl, and 6 giant robot to kill him. In the case of the Superman cartoon, there was multiple robots that were sent after Superman, but Superman just quickly, dispatches them all, and chasing the scientists, through the corridors, and gets the, and takes the girl, thinks he's gonna get away, but actually in this story he does get away. And then huge battle ensues, face off between the robot and three panel pages, and with an ad where you can get U.S. government surplus stuff. And finally, Doctor Strange follows them on, after he somehow knows the coordinates and he knows where they're sort of going. So, and there he runs into the spirit of his mentor, the Ancient One. I'm kind of reminded of Yul Brynner. I can imagine Yul Brynner doing a guest star stint on, there was a Doctor Strange TV show back in the 60s. And here we get some really impressive Steranko artwork here. I love this story. This was great. Okay, so using a hawk harness, that's a high altitude wing kits, Fury pursues the Claw's escaping airship, latching hold with magnets just as the skyscraper-sized whirlpool whistles in the air, leading the ship below the water. There, Fury discovers the Claw's secret hideout is in the middle of New York Harbor. High above the helicarrier, a vortex beam holds the Sky Dragon stationary as the shield mops up the Claw's men. Fury uses the pyro band to burn himself a doorway into the Claw's lair, then finds himself in a complex maze. He takes out a pair of heat-seeking missiles with incendiary flare. Meanwhile, Jimmy Woo is ambushed by some of the Claw's men, then teleported to his lair, where against the protests of Suan, the villain prepares to kill him using a thermal frigid intensity ray machine, in which he will be polarized to death. But Fury arrives. As Swan seeks to free Jimmy, Fury and the Claw struggle, and Swan succeeds at the cost of her own life. In tears, Jimmy vows vengeance against both the Claw and Fury. Let me see. Oh, okay, so one of the things about the Doctor Strange story they point out is that last issue, the name of the robot in the Doctor Strange story is originally called Voltor. This issue, he's called Voltog, whatever. Okay. So let me show you some iconic Fury poses are here. You probably seen in trademark mastheads or whatever. This was a Frank Zappa album. Mothers of Invention was still around in the day, and you can order you can order the album through here. And okay, so you can see this is sort of a pinkish zipatone type of effect on there. The beautiful shading, the green here, but just the way that Steranko was able to use shade effectively, inks, in his colors. Oh, here's another weird thing. Look, you have to turn this book upside down to read this panel. So you can see there, and then you have to go sideways to read that panel. That's Steranko's experiment there. I don't know if you ever. There was a Nick Fury miniseries out, maybe a decade or so, that had an artist named David Adja totally ape Steranko's style, but it was nice. The books were beautiful. And here's what else is here? I'm not seeing you. Yeah, there you go. Classic pose right there. Yeah, that's the you see in plenty of Shield trade dresses. That's where they got that from. And unfortunately, Yellow Claw shoots his own daughter, or his daughter gets caught in the crossfire while Fury and Claw are duking it out, and Jimmy Woo is he's a little pissed off there. So, yeah, good stuff there. Captain Marvel's hawking the Mary Marvel Marching Society. Yeah, I hate that, man. That just brought back a bad memory. My my neighbor upstairs when I was growing up in Parsippany, New Jersey, he was allowed to enjoy FOOM, Friends of Old Marvel, and I wasn't. That sucked. I wasn't allowed to have that. I'm going to bring these with me to the Project 2025 base of operations here. Let me turn these here. I wanted to see fill in what gaps these ones were able to fill. Strange Tales, Strange Beast. Okay, here's my Strange Tales pile. So let's see. That I have 161. That's the earliest one I have. No, there's my double. There's my double of oh no, I had an early one earlier. I had 147. So there's my double 158. I'll put the covers on later. 158. Who else I have? Looks like there's 160. 161. There's 162. Put that there. 163. The one following that. That's one I had. And that was, I think there were only 2 issues left in the split books series, and then became Brother Voodoo. The book ceased publication in 68, and it was launched again in 73 with a character called Brother Voodoo. And I don't have the money to get that issue yet, but yeah, there you go. What else what can I show people? One of the things I do, I'm going through price guides. I'm using the apps, Hip Comics app price guide to go through some of these titles. If I find a gem in here, usually I'll take the book, put it out there, and scan it with my phone, and it gives me a reading of how much it's worth. And you know how it is. You collectors who rile against me for using this app, like Brad Sloan, Barry Dutter, whoever else I get into fights with. Gee whiz, what the hell's going on out there? There's always sirens coming flying out in the street, man. People use this road as they think it's a highway. Well, because my place is next to a highway, off ramp. So people think they use this stretch of road here in front of my house as a Hip Comics has been pissing me off. This app has been pissing me off a lot. Because the prices keep falling, or they keep fluctuating, and right now that's my I'm not gonna do well. Let's see my top 10 titles. Is the Rhino, the first appearance of Rhino. I got that at $621.79. Some titles I can't talk about because I haven't done videos on them yet. But that's my 12. This my first, it holds 48 pages, so Oh, look at this now. Now the first Echo appearance is up to 112.92. They had it down at 35 last night, and you see how this thing keeps jumping around a lot. The prices keep jumping around. I have to rewrite. And oh, there I got. There's now the first appearance of Muse, which you're probably seeing on the new Daredevil show, is now 99. It's almost $100. So I'm pretty happy about that. Um, a lot of the Daredevils are going up because of the new show, um, like such as um, there this book I didn't even know was the White Tiger, the daughter of the White Tiger. I didn't know she even that wasn't even a thing. But apparently she is in an issue of Daredevil that I don't have. It's not. And it's one of the reasons. I think it was one that Ed Brubaker. I think Ed Brubaker developed her. During his run. Uh, this issue of Captain America once shot up in price too, and it's now 71. It's I guess to commemorate the memory of John Cassidy, who passed away recently. Um, Anyway, yeah, it's a good book too, and it's a very definitive look for Captain America in that book, and I think it deserves to be priced that high. So anyway, that's it. To next week, I start with I'm going to do the my Marvel heavy hitters. These were books, expensive books that I bought from Brad Sloan, at last summer's San Diego Comic Con, that I borrowed money for from my retirement savings to purchase. I'm still paying that off too. All right, see you next time. Bye.